This is what happens when I try to say something that isn't part of my speech. Because I didn't write it down. Hi, welcome to my third video. Please watch until the end of the video for two important announcements. Today I'm going to be talking about GAD, or GAD, or Generalized Anxiety Disorder. It's going to be more of an informational video compared to what most of mine are going to be, but I'll still relate them to my experiences. I also wanted to mention, by the way, that I have to make these more informative videos first before I can talk about other things, because you need to understand the disorders and what I'm talking about before I can talk about them in other ways. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional, but I have done a little bit of research, and I will cite the site that I'm citing from. So lately I've been feeling really stressed for no particular reason, because yay, it's summer, no school, right? But it's like the things I'm doing are enjoyable, but it's because I feel like I have to do them that I don't want to anymore. And it's kind of like an endless cycle that's just been going on in my life for like ever. And I have a feeling it's generalized anxiety disorder, which I know I've had for a long time, but this might be one of the reasons why I'm not quite enjoying myself. And hopefully I'll be able to resolve this more in my next video when I talk about more coping methods. So in this video I'm going to be mostly going over the symptoms and signs of generalized anxiety disorder and like what it is exactly. Generalized anxiety disorder is likely going to be one of two things. Either you're anxious all the time for no particular reason, or you have more anxiety than the average person would about things that might not cause them stress. So I'm going to start off by just listing the symptoms, and then it won't be in that same order, but I'll go over them in kind of like my words, but these are the technical symptoms according to the DSM-5. So it's official, according to the ADAA, or Anxiety and Depression Association of America. These are the symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. Restlessness, or feeling keyed up or on edge, being easily fatigued or tired all the time, difficulty concentrating or mind going blank, irritability, muscle tension, or sleep disturbances. Or, in my own detailed experience, this would be the first symptom that I would think of. Having a pessimistic mindset, jumping to worst case scenarios and expecting everything to always turn out badly, particularly because you imagine so many different scenarios about things that could happen or go wrong. I do this especially often with death. So for example, my mother, who I'm most close to, I will imagine that she's like dying because she's not replying to my texts. So I assume that they're in danger, and that if I don't go check on them right now, it means that they're dying, and I'll forever regret that I didn't save them because I had the feeling that something was wrong. However, the feeling that something is wrong is basically just anxiety. So you have to pick and choose your battles. Are you feeling this because of your anxiety, or are you feeling this because of the universe telling you that something is terribly wrong? And sometimes, or most of the time, for people like me, you can't tell the difference. Next, as I described earlier, feeling stressed about multiple things, especially things that normally wouldn't cause people to stress day to day. Even a few small things can seem like too much to handle. It's a cycle that never ends. So that's, like I said, me right now with my hobbies. They are stressing me out, even though they shouldn't for a normal person, because it's entertaining and there's nothing terribly wrong. But for me personally, I know that that's also linked to perfectionism, which adds stress because I feel like I always have to do more than what's expected of me. And overthinkers can also relate to this, because the few small things build up into something much more bigger than the few small things that they are. Honestly, all I do is think. That's probably why I'm not so good at talking, because I've thought a whole lot more than I've ever said in my life. Next, inability to relax. You have constant anxiety even when there isn't necessarily something wrong. Obviously, if you're stressed out and your body's reacting to your stress, then you can't properly relax or calm down, which is why deep breathing is often used, because it'll calm your heart rate. Next, difficulty falling asleep because of worrying. When there's no distractions, it may be especially difficult to quiet your mind. Often, if something important is happening the next day, I'll focus too much of my attention on that, and then therefore it will keep me up all night, because whether I'm trying to study more for a test, like, for example, a math test in June that I was worried about happened to keep me up for 3 nights in a row, therefore I couldn't sleep, so I couldn't go to school the next day because I literally, could not function on no sleep. And I knew that I would do terribly on the test that I was worried about if I didn't get sleep, which is kind of paradoxical because I need to sleep in order to do well on the test, but I can't sleep to do well on the test because I'm worried about the test, which is keeping me awake, which is keeping me from doing and getting anything good on the test. Which actually did happen, but it ended up being okay despite my anxiety worry. Difficulty concentrating or staying focused because you are too busy worrying or too anxious to stay calm enough to complete a task well. Your other functional thinking mind doesn't work when it's being clouded by the false judgment of anxiety. For me, it leads to me multitasking when I have several things I need to do that are causing me stress. And I think of them all as a priority, and in that in order to be most productive, I have to work on all of them at the same time. My example for that is I'll work on exercising, planning out ideas for an upcoming assignment, and watching an important YouTube video or something to entertain me, and I assume that I can do all of them at once. I would think that I could stay more focused on that video so my thoughts wouldn't wander, but eventually as I'm watching the video my thoughts wander anyways because of either whatever it's saying or I just completely end up ignoring it. My mind will pick one thing to grasp on to, which is usually the most exciting thing, which would be trying to plan a project or something in my mind, or if it's whatever's worrying the most, that will attach into my mind. Okay, the point is you can't do several things at once with your brain no matter how hard you try, because it just ends up that you put less effort on the things that are important. So really, you'd be more productive if you just picked one thing to do and did it, and then you'd do, even if you did less things in your day, you'd do everything to the best of your ability. And the last symptom I have is muscle tension or body pain from absent-mindedly having raised shoulders, staying still for long periods of time, biting tongue or lips, grinding teeth, clenching your jaw, clenching your fists, etc. I personally tend to grind my teeth, and then I have my mouth kind of in a sucked position where my tongue is suctioned to the front of my mouth, and it has teeth marks on it after I realize what I'm doing, and it's really weird. Then it just adds extra pressure to my tongue and I have a sore tongue. And then I have a sore jaw from having my mouth clenched for so long. And it leads to tooth pain and cracking and a whole bunch of other super fun things. And I always tend to have a sore back and upper shoulder areas. Moving around and stretching it out at least 5 times a day really does help to loosen it up a bit, which I have to remember to do, otherwise I'll just forget, and then 3 days later I'll be in massive pain and won't remember why. Basically, anxiety causes physical pain too, that's the point. Okay, on to my announcements. Announcement number 1, I will start doing weekly check-ins on one of my videos that I post per week, just for you guys to know more about what's going in my life both mentally and to get to know me more personally. It's important to get my current feelings out to the YouTube world, or just out in general, and as well as talk about the things that I've learned and share my knowledge, but I think that's an important add-in. So currently, the medication I'm taking for my anxiety, called Cymbalta, I started it about a month ago, and it seems to be working pretty well for me, thankfully. I'm not able to work on art very much at the moment, but because, sadly, my summer plans have been cancelled, I'll probably have more time for that, which is exciting. I'm currently painting a picture of Recovery Flower X, that's her YouTube channel, also known as Gabby, which I love very much. Shout out to Gabby. I've had several struggles regarding YouTube, especially when it comes to music. I tried several different things, and then I realized that iCloud Drive was probably the best thing I could do, so I downloaded the music that I wanted off of YouTube. Obviously it was it was either royalty-free, copyright-free, or no copyright, and then I made sure to make a list of the descriptions so that I could copy and paste what was necessary. So I'm trying my very best to have interesting music yet still be safe from the copyright issue. I downloaded it as an MP3 and then I put it into my iCloud drive through my laptop, and then I looked at it on my phone and it wasn't like in there, like it wasn't syncing properly. I think I can figure it out, but if anyone has any advice, that would be very welcome. Yes, I'd like to keep posting for sure on Fridays, but also hopefully another day. I'm feeling it might be Tuesday because then I have adequate time for each video as well as filming in between time. I'm also going to be working on videos this summer, like I said before, for school time, so I want to make sure that I'm not hyper super duper stressed when it comes to school time, because I'm already super stressed and I don't want to have to feel like I need to like add that on, although that's another reason why I'm doing weekly check-ins, so even then I can just like post a quick 3-minute video of how I'm doing and how my week has been going for those times. So it'll still be like current, it'll just be with more information too. Okay, so announcement number 2. Even though he may hate me for shouting him out, I would like to still make a quick shout out to my friend Donnie, who I met on YouNow, because it's his birthday today. So please wish him a happy birthday in the comments if you can. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. And I just wanted to say to Donnie, I love you very much, and I hope you have massive fun. No one else is going to understand that, but that's okay. You're a wonderful person. I hate how this is scripted, but that's me, but I still mean it. Even though it's scripted, I still mean it, okay? Anyway, so you make me laugh a lot and I'm very grateful for it, and I can't thank you enough. And I had to write that down, otherwise I would just say, hey, happy birthday, love ya. Also, his channel is Cherry Boy, and I'll put a link in the description if I can figure out how to do that. And I'm sure a subscription would be a very welcome birthday present. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!